comment. All right, it is time for another episode of D23, room number 2. And I am a little late. I thought I had scheduled this for 3 o'clock, but I guess I scheduled it for 2:30. So let's get into it. I'm still trying to get things set up a little bit here. There we are, we're alive. Okay, just a little bit late, not too much. We're only about 10 minutes late. Okay, so, all right, so we've got room number 1 done for the Wish engine, and I'm not going to go over the summary for this. You can go back and you can see the summary from yesterday's room that we did. In addition, you can go to the video that I did kind of introducing this. I think that came out on Sunday. No, it came out on Saturday. It came out on Saturday, so you can go back and you can see that one that we did as well. So we're going to get into room number 2, and room number 1 was kind of the entry room. So let's look and see what the room itself looks like here. Here it is. There it is. Okay, there's room number 1 right there. So that's what it looks like. Ooh, I don't want to put that out there. It wants me to put that that ball and chain out there. I don't want to do that. Okay, so here is room number 1, and it's kind of the entry hall. It was a 30-foot wide, I believe 50-foot long room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, and it's got 6 kobolds in it. Here they are right here, kobold, and then it's got a kobold trapsmith in it. We pulled those out of the, where did we pull those out of? We pulled those out of the D&D Beyond. There's an entry door. The door was locked, so these first level PCs are coming in. They have to deal with the door. They're going to break it down, or they're going to pick it. They're going to have a very hard time. Doing that quietly, and then they're going to come in. They're going to get possibly jumped by all these kobolds. They're going to fight them off, and then they're going to search the room. One thing we forgot to put in here is treasure. So let's do that. We need to put a treasure entry in each one of these. So we're going to go bold treasure. I do want to put some treasure in here, and so how are we doing treasure? That's a good question. So if we go up here to sources and the Dungeon Master's Guide, there is a section in here about treasure. And they've got some random, we're going to do some random generation of treasure. So you can see they've got things in here for gemstones, different gold piece values of gemstones and art objects and etc. So you can get really kind of detailed with what treasure that you actually put in your room. We're going to do this individual treasure. I've got to get some dice. I got a new set of dice for Christmas. I'm getting these dice every month. My mom got me this subscription to this really cool thing called Dice Envy, and they send you 2 sets of dice every month, a plastic set and a non-standard set every month. And we're going to use our non-standard set. These are like quartz dice, I guess. They're pretty cool. I haven't even used them yet. I haven't even rolled them yet, but they look really cool. They're each individually packed, and we want percentage dice. So let's get these out here. They look like they've got like snow globes in the middle of them. They're pretty cool. Okay, let's see here. So we're going to roll on the individual treasure, table. We're going to roll that. I think we're going to roll that once. And there's Electrum pieces on here. I can't believe that. They still have Electrum pieces. But if you go through here, they have individual treasure for challenge ratings 0 through 4, 5 through 10, 11 through 16, and 17. And then they've got hordes. Now, I don't think that we're actually going to use the horde treasure until later on in this dungeon or in this level. Like when we get to the end with the boss room, then we'll put a treasure hoard in there as well. And then, of course, they've got it for challenge rating 0 through 4, 5 through 10. We will probably put a magic item in there, some kind like a magic weapon or something. Maybe. Sometime between the levels of 1 through 4, players should be getting a magic item. Okay, so let's do a roll here. So we got, this is cool. They got liquid in the middle and they move. So we got a 70. So what is 70 on here? 70 is 3d6 electrum pieces. So what we'll do is we'll roll the total, and then we'll divide it out by 7 because there's 7 creatures in here. That's pretty cool. There's like a... All right, we got a 3. Oh, wow, it moves. That is really cool. There's like a globe in the middle of it. 4, and it moves, and a 5. So we got 12. 12 isn't really divisible by 7. But, I mean, we'll get it close. So each one, let's say each one of the regular kobolds has 1 electrum piece. So, what do we say, 12? And then the trapsmith has 5. So we'll write that in there. Let's put this over here so I can actually type. So, each kobold has 1 electrum piece, and the trap Smith has 5 electrum pieces. Okay, so that takes care of our room. So let's go to, so we're going to take this and we're going to copy this. I'm not going to mess around with the, adjustments at this point. We're just going to assume that, the player, that we're going to have 5 players, and they're all going to be at level. So let's make sure that we got that correct. Room 2. Okay, so this is my thinking or my thought about that in itself. That we've got a room for first level, brand new first level characters. It's their first encounter. They, it's probably going to be a pretty tough encounter for first level players. One thing about D&D 5e that I have found is that out of combat healing sucks. So it is very different than, say, Pathfinder 2 or Pathfinder 1, where there's all kinds of out of combat healing. But there really isn't any at all for... there's very, very, very little, and very little options. It's not an infinite amount or an amount. Oh man, took the D4 out for this, and it is really, really sharp. It's not an amount that's appreciable. So I want to give. So we're going to call this the entry hall. We call it the entry hall, but we're going to call it the entry hall up here. Entry hall, and we're gonna give the players a little bit of a reprieve from combat. This is a beginning dungeon. If we did a combat encounter every room for 18 rooms, it would kill first level characters off pretty heftily. So we're gonna have to give them a reprieve every once in a while. So let's go into the map and let's make the second room. So we want to use the mask tool, and we are going up here to the grid. And so you'll notice this is set at 100 up here, and it's making these big things. I don't want that. I want it set all the way down to 3. Actually, we want it set to 1, and that way it's 1 square at a time. And then we're going to, we got to do the subtract as well. Okay. And so subtract is, we want that set at 1. Okay, there we go. So now, there it goes. Okay, so now we're going to make like a little hallway. 10 foot wide, 15 foot long hallway. And we're going to put some doors at the end. We can just copy these doors. I'm going to use these doors basically for the whole dungeon. So we're going to put these doors, we're going to zoom in a bit here. We're going to copy this door. And at some point, we're going to stop putting in double doors. But for now, we're going to keep double doors. So we're going to have a little bit of a hallway. We're going to have another set of double doors here. And then we're going to make a room. And I have this set up a specific way so that we can make rooms like this. And if you ever want to use this particular, software, it's web-based, so I'm online, and you just log in. I paid, I think, $25 a year for it, and they've got all kinds of YouTube videos on how to use this software for this, and it's great. And so, I mean, I think there's a. Let me see here if I can find this YouTube channel here. Let me see here. We're gonna move this over here. And we should be back to that. And I want to do YouTube. And we're going to do Incarnate. And what's a really cool thing about doing this format of dungeon creation is I can show people things and talk about things and everything. Okay, so here's the Incarnate site, and you can see they've got all kinds of videos in here, and they've got really good ones too. How to create ambushes, how to create taverns, realistic water, Well of Souls. Like they have their own dungeons in here as well, and how to create those, how to create castles. And I did if we go up here to the little search thing, I did dungeon. And I did this one, how to create dungeon, and they showed me how to do that. So and to do the little thing that I'm doing here, which is very cool. So we're gonna make this, and I've got all the settings put in here for the shadowing right now, and how much shadowing I want, and all that. So we're gonna make a room. Okay, we'll make it like that, and I'm going to put a little alcove here, and I'm going to put a little alcove here. We're going to take, and I want to make this almost as linear as I possibly can. We're going to put some statues, actual statues now, into those little alcoves there. They're going to be innocuous. There's nothing going to be in this room that's dangerous to the players, but the statues are going to be innocuous, and but the players don't know that. So we've got Egyptian seated statues. Sure, why not? That looks pretty cool. And we're going to need to flip these around, and we're going to need to make these smaller. So let's make these smaller, because I want them to fit into a square. I'll make sure I can move this around here. Okay, I want to make that a little bit smaller. No, we didn't want to do that one. We want to do there it is. Okay, 20 is fine, and let's flip it. Okay, that's not the way we want to flip. We want to rotate it. I think that's in advanced settings. Oh, rotate right here. So we want to rotate it